People, stop judging yourselves too harshly. Somebody was telling me that I was coaching someone, like a couple of friends recently, and one of them told me that he was an introvert, right? And he was not that social and couldn't get past his past relationship. So he told me that he didn't have the ability to go forward. So I said, like, what was the cause of this problem? Like, he couldn't get past himself. He said, we're gonna go through engagement, blah blah blah. And I said, like, what is the problem then? So the problem with the relationship is, like, it was a bit toxic. The girl was pushing her to do things and get married at a particular time. This caused him to have a spinal injury and stuff like that, right? So I told him, like, so is the relationship a net positive or a net negative? And everybody that knew him told him, and he confirmed that it was negative. So I said, like, so was that your failure? And he realized at that point that it wasn't really his fault. It was more of the female was very toxic and pushing him to her deadlines. So I asked him, like, what did you really want? And he said, like, he wanted something else, obviously. So I told him, like, what do you need to do? Right? So I asked him, what should he do to move forward? And he said, I really wanted to change my clothes and stuff like that, right? And he wanted to give away the ring. I said, yeah, so what's stopping you from doing that? And I think there are just some actions you need to take. It's so small, and the judgment that he had on himself, like, it was the end of the world. But he already had the answers. And this is what happens a lot with my coaching is I realize that most people judge themselves too harshly for things that aren't really their problems. And some of it is like taking too much accountability for things that are not under their control. To some degree, you have to master control and influence as a leader, but also you have to put this leadership into your life. Because if you are in a relationship, there are things that you will do wrong, but there are also things that are not under your control. And some of them you can correct, and some of them you cannot. At the same time, don't continue to punish yourself for a mistake. And I learned this hard because I'm always too hard on myself. And I realized when I was talking to him that he was going through the same thing, that he is punishing himself by not giving away the ring. So I said, like, how much is the ring? Okay, so it's just this much. Like I said, is it better for you to give it away the ring now, or to keep a reminder of your pain every day and not move your life forward? So think of it like a specific tax and a lump sum tax. If you let go of your past now, you would not have X number of days times wait 1, right? As opposed to you pay wait 10 and just move on. And he was keeping on these things that literally put him down. His work, his mood, everybody around him. The things that he could already buy the clothes, to be honest. And for you to go through a change, sometimes you need a change in environment, change of clothes, change of music, whatever, right? And I told him, like, if this is important for you, well, what's stopping you from doing it? And then realized, like, yeah, that's important. And the people around that knew him told me, like, yeah, he's very particular with clothes. And I think that he also branded himself as a introvert. So what is introvert? I don't really understand this concept of introvert. I think it's just a label. I think people would call me as introvert because in high school I was just really behind the class. I didn't talk to anybody, even if we were a small class. And people don't believe this when I'm doing YouTube or I'm doing speeches or I'm talking. And I realized that I could categorize myself as an extrovert if I wanted to, but I also get depleted when I'm talking to people. So I think this is just a label. But he was doing the sales pitches and things like that, and he used mirroring techniques a lot. And I said, like, that's not really, introversion. It's a tactic that he is already employing successfully to get businesses. So I wouldn't say he was an introvert. So more of the story, it's getting too long, but don't judge yourself too much. These labels that people call you are just labels. You still define your life, and don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes you have the answer, and sometimes letting go is just better for you. You could have a happy day tomorrow if you just let go of your pain today.